Hello, Western Michigan University. How are you guys doing today? I will be going over my incident report for your network that I created. I use Cisco Packet Tracer to do this. I'm part of a small team called the Black Hat Hackers. They helped me out a little bit, but I was mainly on my own for this one. We start with the remote site. We start with our routers. There's routers and switches for the remote site. So these are connected to campus layer 3 switch 2 and remote site switch 1 or 2. The campus layer switch 3 is very important and the backbone of our network. This campus layer 3 switch 2 is very important. It connects the network to the internet and allows everything to work. A larger section about it is at the bottom if you go straight further. So feel 3 down here. Skip down ahead and read this. It's very important. We go back up. So we change the host name. The host name is very important to change. We need to keep everything streamlined and organized. That's very important to a company functioning properly. Make sure you know what everything is. Second, change the IP for gigabit Ethernet. Ethernet 0 and 1. These need to be the correct IP addresses for it to receive signals. So these need to be correct to receive a signal in order to get a network to work. Lastly, I need to go into the command line interface, CLI, and use the IP route command to point to campus layer 3 switch 1. Again, very important, this campus layer 3 switch 1. Fortunately, we could not get this command to work, so we will have to fix it later on. So, yeah, we cannot get this command to work for anything, so we'll have to get an alternative or fix it later. Switches. This is still part of the remote site, but they're switches. These switches were connected to their respective router and one computer each. Similarly, I changed the host name to remote site switch 1 or remote site switch 2. Changed the IPs for VLAN, virtual local area network, for these switches. This will need to connect the switch to the network. So keyword in VLAN, network. You need to change the IP to connect it to the network. Went into the command line interface to change the IP default gateway to a different IP address with the command IP default gateway. So this is just general connecting IPs to using IPs to connect to the network. Down here on campus only has switches, no routers. For the campus, there are both connected to campus layer 3, switch 2, and each other. So these create like a triangle with their signals. I changed the host name to campus switch 2 and campus switch 3. Changed the VLAN for these. I need to use the IP default gateway again. I need to configure 3 fast Ethernet ports and 1 gigabit Ethernet port. These are your different ports you need. There's 4 total ports for these. 1 FA port and the gigabit Ethernet port need to be trunks, which only allow certain VLANs. So 2 of them are only allow certain of the virtual area networks. And we go down to the disaster recovery. Very important, very important. If anything would happen to our data, these would be there to recover our data. Routers. These disaster recovery routers and switches are critical if anything would happen to the main system, as they restore our data in an emergency. Changed the host name, added IPs for gigabit Ethernet, used the IP route command again, but as with the remote site, did not work and will need to be fixed later. Switches, these similar to the other switches, changed the host name, added a VLAN. Campus layer 3 switch 1. This is very important. Integral part of our network. Everything connects to it and it connects to the internet. It has to send a signal to everything if it wants to use the internet. I added a 4 gigabit Ethernets with new IPs. It added 3 VLANs with new IPs. So that is 4 ports and 3 VLANs, which is a lot. I needed 2 of the gigabit Ethernet ports to be trunks. These trunks are used to connect to a guest virtual machine. I used the IP route command to create a static default route. The static route is used as opposed to dynamic routing, which is typically preferred, because static routes provide better reachability. So we wanted reachability for this project, so we used a static route. I had to make 3 of these routes to connect for the PCs from the remote site and the server from disaster recovery to the respective router. So it's going to make sure everything's connected up properly. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll read my emails and send them back for you. Have a good day.